gewollt. Pesach already. Nicht gefährlich, this is Reb Shlomo's favorite time of the year. And not only because of the matzah and peanut butter. Or the Manischewitz wine. L'chaim. But also because of the Seder and the opportunity to express gratitude. There's no song that expresses gratitude quite like Dayenu. If you're a goy, don't worry, I'll translate. Ilu hotzi anu mi Mitzrayim Dayenu. That means, if the Holy One, praised be his name, had brought us out of Egypt and not done all the other stuff, Dayenu, or it would have been enough. Now the Dayenu does not mean enough already. No, it means just this or just that would have been enough to deserve our heartfelt thanks. But the Holy One, praised be he, did even more. It is, of course, proper to thank Hashem for all that he has done for us, but that does not mean it is improper to thank others who have also done wondrous things for us. So this year, I would like to add a Dayenu for our beloved president, at least beloved to me, Barack Obama. I'll do it in English, and you can join in for the Dayenus. I'm sure this will be a big hit at all the Seders this year. Now I will be using a biblical instrument called, as you can read it, a ukulele. If he had saved us from another great depression without ending the great recession, if he had ended the great recession without saving all the banks, if he had saved the banks without saving the auto industry, or if he had saved the auto industry without saving the banks, if he had saved the banks and the auto industry without ending the 9% per annum contraction of the economy that prevailed when he assumed office from the Republicans, if he had ended the 9% contraction of the economy and not hoisted the economy to its current growth rate approaching 3%, if he had hoisted the economy to its current growth and not ended the loss of 750,000 jobs per month, which prevailed after the Bush administration, if he had ended the loss of 750,000 jobs per month and not led us to the current gain of 230,000 jobs per month, if he had done this with the cooperation of all parties without having to overcome the loss of 280,000 government jobs due to Republican austerity measures ostensibly aimed at creating jobs, if he had ended the Bush-era increase in national debt of $5 trillion during a time of plenty, and not restricted his increase to less than a quarter of that in a time of need, if he had managed this transformation with the cooperation of all parties, instead of having to overcome the economic sabotage of the pseudo-patriots who were more interested in securing his failure than in promoting the well-being of their country. If he had only ended the useless war in Iraq and not begun the pullout from Afghanistan, or vice versa, if he had ended torture and yet not successfully prosecuted the war on terrorism, if he had only eliminated the terrorist Osama bin Laden and not also killed or captured Anwar al-Awlaki, Abu Hafs al-Shari, Atiya Abd al-Rahman, Ilyas Kashmiri, Ammar al-Waili, Abu Ali al-Harithi, Ali Saleh Farhan, Yunus al-Maritani, Baitullah Masood, Norden Mohammed Top, Saleh Ali Jali Nabhan, Saleh al-Somali, Abdullah Saeed, Abdul Ghani Beradar, Mohammed Haqqani, Qari Zafar, Hussein al-Yemeni, Dumatan from Indonesia, Abu Ayyub al-Masri, Abu Omar al-Baghdadi, Sheikh Saeed al-Masri, Hamza al-Jawfi, A commentary on that verse. It is wrong to rejoice at the death of any man, but that verse is to point out that President Obama was able to target specific terrorists and not use the Bush-Cheney-Rumsfeld technique of throwing hundreds of thousands of soldiers in and killing many innocent civilians in order to obtain the result of reducing our risk from terrorism. Here he was able to target specific terrorists and save innocent civilians as well as our soldiers. If he had not saved Libya without entangling us in yet another war, if he had not advanced us toward universal health care enjoyed by the rest of the civilized world, despite the lies and mischaracterizations of his foes, You want to know what a death panel is? It's when there's no insurance and people die because they don't have insurance. The very people who spread the lies about death panels are promoting a situation where there's an arbitrary random death panel for everyone who does not have insurance, whereas Obama is promoting universal health care so that there won't be these arbitrary random death penalties. If he had not found a sensible path between the need for energy exploration and the dangers of environmental catastrophe, if he had not gradually led us from the intolerance of don't ask, don't tell to the current acceptance of all our heroes, if he had not found a way between the false dichotomies of religious freedom and women's rights fomented by those who seek discord and value neither, if he had not seen through the fallacy of using so-called religious freedom to impose one's religious position on others, if he had not had the balance to provide Israel with support and friendship while not shrinking from advising against its potentially self-destructive chauvinistic excesses, if he had not had the balance to walk gracefully between the reactionary conservatives calling him a socialist and the left calling him a suck-up to Wall Street, if he had not tolerated with dignity and unfailing grace the derision and distortion his detractors used to misrepresent him and his achievements in our behalf, but he saved us from another Great Depression, ended the Great Recession, saved the banks, rescued the auto industry, ended the 9% per annum economic contraction, returned us to a positive growth rate, ended the monthly loss of 750,000 jobs, restored us to the current monthly gain of 230,000 jobs, despite Republican cuts of 280,000 jobs in the name of so-called job creation, ended the Bush-era increase in national debt of $5 trillion, ended the useless war in Iraq, began the pullout from Afghanistan, ended torture while more successfully fighting terrorism, achieving the death and or capture of Osama bin Laden and 23 other high-ranking terrorist leaders, saved Libya without entangling us in war, advanced us toward universal health care, balanced energy needs with environmental safety, ended the indignity of don't ask, don't tell, avoided entanglement in the false dichotomy between religious freedom and women's rights, propounded by foes interested in neither, provided friendship as well as honesty for Israel, modeled decency and tolerance in the face of intolerance, deception and distortion, and accepted derision when gratitude and honor were due, and for all this let us sing, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. At the end of the Seder, it is customary to say, next year in Jerusalem. Usually this is understood as the wish for us to transport ourselves to Jerusalem. But I believe we can also construe this as a wish to transport Jerusalem to us, not the Jerusalem of a narrow religious view, but rather Jerusalem as an ideal of compassion and justice and peace and brotherhood. After all, Jerusalem is the home to many religions. So let us now all say, this year in Jerusalem, and let us advance toward that goal by electing a man of true decency who has met the snarling, ravening gargoyles of our baser nature, which you can hear anytime on the radio or certain news stations, with unfailing decency and forbearance and compassion for us all. So, happy Pesach and good Yontif to all of you.